the mug shattered against the tile floor before anyone in the bakery cafe could even turn their head. Hot coffee soaked into the sleeve of a gray wool coat as a man's voice rose above the espresso machines and soft piano playlist. "Do you have any idea what you just cost me in there?" he snapped. "You don't get to walk away from me." He seized the wrist of the woman standing across from him, mid-30s, dressed simply in a navy trench coat, a leather tote slung over one shoulder. She hadn't raised her voice once. The cafe went still. A barista's hand hovered over the register. A couple at a corner table stopped mid-conversation. Nobody moved. "Let go of my arm," the woman said, quiet but firm. "I've asked you twice already." He didn't. His fingers tightened instead. "You owe me an explanation. People don't just walk out on me." Near the front window, a man named Marcus Reed sat across from his 9-year-old daughter, Sophie, a half-eaten cinnamon roll between them. He'd landed back in Norfolk 2 days earlier after an 8-month deployment, and this, a quiet Saturday morning, just the two of them, was the only plan he'd made. He wore a plain heather gray Henley and jeans. Nothing about him said Navy. Nothing about him said anything at all to anyone who didn't know him. Sophie tugged his sleeve. "Dad, that lady looks scared." Marcus had already seen it. 8 years in, and he'd learned that trouble rarely announces itself with fists first. It usually starts smaller, with someone deciding another person's no doesn't apply to them. He folded his napkin, set it beside his plate, and stood. "Stay right here, Bug." "Okay," Sophie whispered, eyes wide. Marcus crossed the cafe at an unhurried pace, not squaring up, not puffing his chest, just walking like a man who'd already decided what came next. The man in the wool coat clocked him and scoffed. "Can I help you?" "She asked you to let go," Marcus said. "This isn't your business." Marcus looked past him to the woman. "Do you know this man?" She shook her head once. "No." That was all he needed. "You heard her," Marcus said, voice level. "Take your hand off her arm." The man's grip didn't loosen. "And who are you supposed to be? Somebody's bodyguard?" "No," Marcus said. "Just somebody who doesn't sit down when this happens in front of him." A laugh, sharp and humorless. Then the man shoved Marcus backward with both hands. "Mind your own." He didn't finish the sentence, because Marcus hadn't moved. 8 years of training had done more for his balance than the man's shove could undo. "That's your last warning," Marcus said quietly. "Walk away. You still can." The man swung clumsy, more anger than aim. Marcus stepped inside the punch, caught the sleeve of the wool coat, and turned him into the counter, pinning him there with nothing more than controlled weight and a firm grip on the collar. No punch thrown, no shouting. Gasps rippled through the cafe. A chair scraped back somewhere. "I don't want to fight you," Marcus said, close enough that only the man could hear it clearly. "But I'm not going to stand here and watch you hurt her either." The woman stepped back, one hand instinctively finding the edge of the counter to steady herself. For the first time since it started, her shoulders dropped an inch. 2 employees had already run for the manager. By the time he arrived, security had reached the door, and half the cafe was talking over each other, some pointing at Marcus, most explaining what had actually happened. The manager reached the woman first. "Ms. Calloway, are you all right?" She nodded slowly, eyes still on Marcus. "I am now." The man pinned against the counter went pale. "Ms. Wait. Calloway?" The manager's face had already drained of color. He knew the name before she said it. "Elena Calloway," she said, straightening her coat. "I own this building, and 41 others like it across the East Coast." The man's bravado cracked in real time. "This is a joke." "It isn't," the manager said quietly. "I've been in 3 meetings with her this year." Elena turned to the man still held against the counter. You've spent the last 4 months trying to close a leasing deal with my company. Today, you didn't lose that deal because of a negotiation. You lost it because of exactly what everyone in this room just watched you do. He tried to backpedal. I was frustrated. I didn't mean to. You grabbed my arm twice after I asked you to stop, Elena said. That's not frustration. That's a choice. She looked to security. He's not welcome back on any property with my company's name on it. As they walked him out, Elena turned to Marcus. You didn't know who I was. Didn't need to, Marcus said, shrugging. You needed help. That's the whole equation. Sophie had already crossed the room and wrapped both arms around her father's waist. I knew you'd help her, Dad. Marcus knelt down to her height. That's the only lesson I really want you to walk away with, Bug. Elena crouched too, meeting Sophie's eyes. Your dad just gave the whole cafe a lesson today. Not just you. She stood and pulled a card from her tote, not the platinum one this time, just a plain business card with a handwritten line on the back. This isn't a reward, she told Marcus. It's an open door. If you're ever done with active duty, my company needs someone who runs safety and training the way you just handled a room full of strangers. Marcus took it, genuinely touched. Appreciate that. But watching my daughter see this, that's already more than I need today. As Marcus and Sophie walked out, the cafe broke into applause behind them, a ragged, real kind of applause, the kind that happens when people realize they just watched something they won't forget. Elena stood by the window and watched them go, thinking the same thing half the room was thinking. Some people help because someone's watching. He helped because someone needed it. Those are never the same thing, and only one of them is actually courage. If this story hit you the way it hit me, drop a comment with one word that describes what real courage looks like to you. And if you believe stories like this deserve to be seen, hit subscribe. More are coming.